Hey Daybreak, this is Pastor Rick, Pastor Sean, coming to you with what appears to be now our weekly update on the COVID-19 virus and how that impacts not only us as a church family, but our world as well. So first of all, something to celebrate. This past weekend on our online services, we had almost 1,300 people as of today who have joined us or tuned in to be a part of that, to watch the service. And we're just so excited that we had that kind of engagement with our church family. Just such an intentional effort on the part of our church family to say, we still want to be the church, even if we can't come together in one place to worship.
One thing's for sure, in this type of season when all normality is kind of out the window, there is no doubt that you need God. Because when it's normal and everything's fine, I start to live independently from God and the temptations there, but when it's not, it changes everything about how I pray and how I engage, and things are changing so quickly. It feels like every 2 days we're back in the room trying to make new decisions. So I think about, we've had these conversations with our staff, I think about the number of things that are not only changing and feel unstable and unsteady, but also the things that we're just grieving. We walked around all that. We spent time as a staff just praying and going around the circle this morning, and people thinking about graduations and weddings and all these life events that are just either on hold or canceled or they don't know what to do with. And it just means we need to lean into God more. And when we came out of the staff, our hopeful place in this was we want to be there. We want to equip our leaders to be there for a whole church family, to equip all of you to feel supported, to feel engaged with Jesus, to point you towards Jesus in a time when our world and you need him most.
So our update today centers on the reality that our government in the last couple days, the medical experts have recommended that the restrictions or kind of the guidelines be tightened a little bit as it relates to the way we socialize and engage with each other. And so the recommendation is that you not gather in groups larger than 10 or more for the next 8 weeks. And so with that, we had to spend some significant time praying in the last couple of days and processing this together. And we've had to make some decisions, some that are a little bit tough for us as a church family, but we're trusting God's going to lead into this new day with some great new opportunities. The first decision we made is to close our facilities completely until April the 12th. To close our facilities until April the 12th. Now, when you hear that at first, we want you to know that doesn't mean we're closed as pastoral staff or as ministry leaders to you in any way. We want to be fully available to the church family, and we can be reached. You can go online and find all access of how to reach us as pastors or as staff, or even to get a hold of your ministry leaders. We want to be available to meet with you, even if we can't be physically present with you. We want to be able to engage with you and also to be able to serve you and minister to you in this tough season. But our facilities for the next month through the end of the day on April the 12th are going to be closed, at least at this point. That's what we're looking towards. The tough part about that is April 12th is kind of a significant day for us as a church, and if you're a Christian, April 12th is Easter. And so this was the tough part about this decision, but we wanted to decide early that we're going to go ahead and find a way that we can maximize the celebration of Christ's resurrection as a church family online together in a way that will help be a compassionate response to those in our community who are at higher risk than if we were to gather together.
As pastors, it's kind of like canceling our Super Bowl.
It really
we really
is.
do look forward to that. I think as Christians, right? That's our Super Bowl game. And, but we are really committed, just like this past Sunday. We're going to get better and better at this. Even though we can't be together physically, really working hard to engage everyone over on live.dbda church as we stream our services at 10:30, and we'll keep getting better at communicating that with you, and you'll even see more in the email that accompanies this video about that. Our Pastor Ryan's working really hard on kids programming, providing that for you before the adult service as well online, and student programming as well. Pastor Kyle's working on that. It's going to be super cool. Just a lot of, even though we can't be physically present, we'll find ways to be the church in this season, to disciple, to bring us apart, to include and shepherd each other, and to grow together.
And one of the things that our staff really worked on together this morning is how can we equip and prepare both our small group leaders as well as all of our ministry leaders to see how much ministry and how much connection we can move online. And so we're equipping our ministry leaders to be prepared that many of the ministries that you're engaged with and the small groups that you're connected to, the people that you're connected to, will be able to continue to connect online together. So we're putting those, as a matter of fact, as soon as you get this information, there will be information going out to your small group leaders and ministry leaders who will help be able to facilitate those connecting places together online so you can continue to connect with God's family and you can continue to grow and deepen your relationship with Jesus.
That's right. Well, this is a season of Lent as well, and we don't want you to miss that. Mm-hmm. This is a season that prepares our hearts for the power of Christ. What happened on the cross, what happened as a part of the resurrection, what that means for us in a world in turmoil, this is where we are. And this past week we talked about nothing to fear. If you didn't get to see that, go out and watch that. It's a great message that really talks about how the gospel really gives us an opportunity to have nothing to fear.
That's right.
Follow up on all your weekly reflections, your prayer, the prayer that we gave you, the fast that we gave you. I want to really encourage you. Use this time in this season to engage more deeply in that, and then join us again this coming week.
Yeah, we're going to be a little shorter in the message this week.
We're going to try.
Sean and I got really excited about preaching together, and we were a little long. We're working on that.
We were. And we're going to experiment with some other ways that we can keep engaging you as we talk about nothing to hide this week. It's a really powerful message that I think most of us relate to in some really powerful ways. So as we close today, I think about the scene when Jesus is out in the boat with his disciples and the storm's coming and they're panicked and they're afraid and they wake him up and he goes up to the front of the boat and he looks at them and says, "Why are you so afraid?" I think he actually even says, "How long do I have to put up with this fear?" Right? But then he stands in front of the boat and he says these words that I think we all need to hear in our hearts today. Peace, be still. And so we leave you with that today. Peace, be still.
God bless.